So, hey guys, hey again. I'll be doing my story time today, and this story is a real life event. A story. This happened to me personally, so I'm sharing my story with you guys. And I'm still a bit spooked out about the situation, but I'm gonna share my story with y'all. And right now it's like night. It's about 6:56, like basically 7 o'clock right now, and I'm talking about this, and I'm trying to not spook my own self out based on what happened. I think I'm gonna burn some incense later because I ain't playing with y'all. So let's get right into it. And if you see me looking down at my phone, I'm using my phone as a guide to, just keep me on the right path in regards to the story. So let's get into it for the 100th time. So at approximately 2:28 in the morning, the middle of the night basically, um, I woke up to use the bathroom. It's a regular thing for me to wake up exactly 2:28 in the morning to use the bathroom. So I got up, and for some other reason, I just felt like I had to turn on all the lights in the house. Like I felt like I need light. Normally, I'll just blindly head my ass over to the bathroom and use the bathroom, and just using my memory, knowing how the house is set up, I'll just walk right back into my room. But that night, it was a Wednesday night, by the way. That night, I had to turn on the lights. Like I felt this unsettling presence at first, and this uneasiness, and I just felt the urge to just turn the lights on. So I turned on my room light, I turned on the bathroom light, I turned on the passage light, and I turned on the living room light. After I turned on the living room light, I went back to the bathroom, and I used the bathroom as a normal person. I used the bathroom, and then I was exiting from out of the bathroom, and I caught a reflection of my own self in the mirror. And with that reflection that I saw, I reversed. I went back to the mirror. I'm like, hold up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I looked in the glass and I realized that my lip was swollen. My lip swelled up. You know when a bee sting you? That's how big my lip looked in the mirror. And I started feeling my face. I'm like, why my face feel numb? Why does my lip look so swell up and it feels numb? And I'm like, maybe it's because I'm still sleeping and I want to sleep. So I'm gonna go back to bed. So I shake that little, uneasy feeling off, and I just went back into the room. But before I went back to the room, I had turned off the living room light, the bathroom light, and I turned off the passage light. The only light that was still on was my room light. So I entered my room, and I was like, all right, turn off the room light now. Bedtime. I'm gonna go and take a nap. You feel me? I'm going back to bed. I turned off the room light, and I went back into the bed and I lie down. Now, when I went back to lie down in the bed, I was facing my lazy boy. So my lazy boy is like exactly right beside my bed. So I faced the lazy boy. And guys, I felt so uneasy. Like I felt so uncomfortable in that position facing the lazy boy for some, like, I don't understand why, but I felt very uncomfortable in that position. So I was like, you know what, I can't stay like that because I'm not going to fall asleep because I'm feeling uncomfortable. So I turned my back to the lazy boy and I turned my face facing the wall, the actual wall. I was facing the wall, right? And I closed my eyes because, of course, I want to go back to sleep. I'm tired. So I closed my eyes, and for a small second, like literally for like not even 5 minutes after I closed my eyes, I started feeling cold, like cold type of cold, like cold, chilly breeze and all these things. I'm like, I live in Jamaica. Where does a cold breeze come from? Me don't experience snow. We don't have winter. Why do I feel so cold? Like, why? So I'm like, what? My eyes are still closed, but these are just the thoughts in my mind because this is how my body feels. And then I started feeling cold, and then for some reason, I just started feeling scared. Like this heavy darkness of fear just drop upon me, so boom. Like, and the fear that I felt was not like me genuinely afraid of something. I felt like I was reflecting somebody else's fear. And I'm like, the whole time in my mind, I'm like, why am I feel so cold? Why am I feel so afraid? And then my heart started racing. My heart started racing. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I have asthma, so I'm telling myself not to panic because I know I have asthma. And if I panic, I'm gonna hyperventilate and then I might dead. So I started saying to myself, like in my mind, don't panic. The whole time I'm trying to breathe and telling my own self not to panic. But my eyes were still closed. Right? The reason why my eyes were still closed is because the level of fear that my body was into or put into, I couldn't open my eyes, guys. Like literally, like I could not open my eyes. I was so like my body was so scared to the point where I could not open my eyes. So I kept my eyes closed. I decided, all right, I feel like there's something behind of me. Like, you know, when you get this gut wrenching feeling that there's somebody watching you or there's somebody behind you, that's the feeling I got, guys. Like, I felt somebody behind of me, like right there behind me. I felt that person's presence or whatever it was. I felt their presence, and I'm like, me nah bother open my eye, you know. Like my eye then decides, you know what, me nah bother open. I done it done. Me not open because me no want to get up and turn and see something me no fear see, and then me look poor look heart might feel me. So I was like, nah, I still can't breathe. I felt cold, extremely cold. I couldn't breathe. My heart was racing like my, I could feel my heartbeat in my throat. The level of how my heart was beating, right? And guys, I started to pray because I do know that prayer and calling upon the Lord Himself can help you in many ways. I start praying, guys, and I don't know how long I was praying for, but I know I was praying. My mouth was moving, and in my mind, I know I was saying all the right words in regards to praying. I was praying, guys. My body couldn't move. My entire body was in so much fear, it couldn't move. My eyes couldn't open. I couldn't move my hand. I was just there facing the wall the whole time like this. I was like facing the wall the whole time, just there. My eyes were closed, like I was actually sleeping. But I wasn't sleeping. And yes, again, this is not sleep paralysis because I do experience sleep paralysis before. And I was wide awake. I was still awake. I wasn't sleeping. So I started praying. I prayed. I don't know how long I was praying for, but I was praying, guys. I was literally praying. I was praying. I was pouring out my heart and everything. I was praying. And then for just a small second, I could move my hand. I'm like, okay. The prayer them start work. The prayer them work. All right. I felt like I could move my hand. And my phone is always beside me in bed. I sleep with my phone on the bed because I would charge the phone before I go to bed. So by the time it's bedtime, the phone is off the charger and somewhere beside me on the bed. Not exactly right, like close to me, but it was close, hand distance reach basically on the bed. And I stretched over and I turned the flashlight on the phone. That was the quickest thing I could find to turn on the phone. I turned on the flashlight, and my heart was still racing. I still couldn't breathe, so I was taking in like deep breath. I was like the whole time, like I was having a panic attack, I was having an asthma attack, I was having an anxiety attack. I felt like I was having so many attacks. It wasn't even funny. And I was still telling myself, relax, breathe. But I was still scared. Like I was still scared. I turned on the flashlight on my phone, guys, and the only thing I could do was to just turn the phone over facing the ceiling. So, the flashlight would be on the back of the phone and I turned it over like this. So it would go up, right? And I was like, okay, all right, the light turned on. Okay, the light turned on. And then I went back and I resumed my praying because I felt like because it was too dark, that was also giving me a little panic naturally, right? Too dark, feeling cold, feeling like somebody's behind me. That's like too much in just a few seconds. So I turned on the light on my phone and I faced it up so it was reflecting in the room, because my room is very dark. So any form of light that enters, it just made my room just light up, right? And I continue praying and I start praying again and I pray and I pray and I pray. And then for some other reason, I felt like I could move. Like I felt like my entire body could move. And that's the point where I was able to open my eyes. Now I opened my eyes and I was like, okay, okay. I still feel like the person was behind, like, I don't know if it was a person. I don't know if it was a man, a woman, a boy, a child. I don't know what it was, but it was behind me and I could still feel it behind me. Like, it was just like they're patient looking at me, like, the whole time. I felt like that. I felt like it was like patient. Like right now, guys, I'm looking at the lazy boy right now and I'm so spooked the hell out. Like, who was in that lazy boy? But like, I'm spooked out, yo. Like, just thinking about it, my heart feel like it's racing. I know I feel hot. I was able to move a little bit when I started praying. Like when I resumed the second set of praying, I felt like I could start moving. My eyelid wasn't feeling as heavy as how it was, where I kept my eyes shut. I was able to open my eyes. I opened my eyes and I still did not want it to turn around. Like, honestly, guys, I still did not want it to turn around. Like, there was no point in time where I felt like, after I was able to move a little bit, I felt like I wanted to turn around and face that lazy boy. Like, the fear was still heavy on me. And I'm like, I am not turning around, not even for 0.01 second. I am not turning around. Nope, nope. And, oh, Lord, this is stressing me out. And I did not turn around, guys. Like, I could move. I was able to move. My eyes were open, but I was still scared to turn around. And my lazy boy, guys, have a tendency wherein that when somebody sits in my lazy boy, it squeaks. It gives that little, you know, them little weird old board type of squeak type of, yeah, you get what I'm trying to say, right? It squeaks. And guys, I felt like something hold me by my throat. I felt like something hold me by my throat. It didn't feel like somebody actually used them hand and hold the throat. Like, the way how I felt choked up, couldn't breathe. I started to can't breathe again. The ear get extremely heavy, right? The hair get extremely heavy, and I'm like, oh Lord, this, it's like I want to get up and run, but I couldn't run because yet again fear came right back all over on me again, and I was still facing the wall. Don't forget that, guys. I was still facing the wall. I was able to move my hand. I felt like I could open my eyes. I could turn my body, but I was scared to turn my body because this is the point where that my fear came over me now. Because me feel so somebody there behind me and I felt the presence of somebody else because it became extremely heavy. Like the room, the atmosphere became extremely heavy. It got so heavy to the point, yet again, I still could not breathe properly. I just felt cold and I feel like I couldn't move all over again. Like I felt so like I was numb, like I was in a position where I just cannot move. If I try to move, then something might happen. Type of position, right? So I started saying, yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil. And I said that like a few times, and I started to say, the Lord is with me and within me. I started to say, Satan, get thee behind me, because I just know that it was Satan ramping with me. Like Satan, I play some games and I'm not in with him right now. Like I'm talking about some football, but me guys, like this is some crazy stuff, yo. And I started to say, Satan, get thee behind me. Satan, get thee behind me. And bear in mind, guys, the whole time I was not able to make a sound out of my mouth. my mouth was moving, but I wasn't making any sound from out of my mouth. So the whole time I'm saying, "Get thee behind me, Satan. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." And I start reciting a few Bible verses that I know by heart. I was just moving my mouth, and in my mind, I was saying all the right words. But I was just like, my mouth was like mumbling, literally mumbling. And I started saying, "Get thee behind me, Satan," but it was in my head that I was saying it. And my mouth was just moving, but there was no sound coming out. And I constantly say it over and over till I was able to say it from out of my mouth. Like I could say it out loud from out of my mouth. So I was like, "Get thee behind me, Satan." And I started to say it like even more, but I was now able to say it out of my mouth. And this is after maybe the 100th time of reciting it in my head and my mouth mumbling without actual words coming out. Until words actually finally come out. And then I started feeling like my heart started race like 10 times more. Like my heart just started get like race more. And then, guys, in just less than a second, I heard the lazy boy squirk, cool bump. Guys, the lazy boy squirk. That's where I lost it. Guys, that's where I lost it. Cold bumper. Take me, I don't like this have me a stress out. Like I'm still scared. Like the lazy boy literally squirk. And that's where I start saying everything, all the little Bible verse, them women know. Me start saying from my heart. Me start saying from my mind, my soul, my spirit, everything. I started going out crazy. You know, like, you know, watch some exorcism show and people they start talking extra loud. That was me the whole night. And I am yet again surprised that my mother did not hear me. I was on the top of my lungs, like, "Get thee behind me, Satan." And I just started getting crazy. I was like, "Listen to me." At that point, I was able to turn. I was able to get up, like guys, like, y'all see the cold bump and stuff. Jesus, I can't do this. This is stressing me out. Like I start ranting like crazy, and I started saying it with all my heart, all my soul, all my spirit, everything within me. Like I start reciting. I was like, "Yeah, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death? I shall fear no evil." I started going off. I started going off, guys. Like, whew, like y'all see the cold bump, right? I'm freaking out. Like I just started going crazy. And at this point I was able to get up. Like I felt the urge to get up. And I slightly turned my body to the lazy boy and I said, "Whoever is in this room with me, you need to get out now." Like I was like, "You get out. This is not your place to stay. You got to go." I started talking like a crazy person. I was like, "I'm here with God and God is here with me and you're not going to take me tonight." Like I started showing attitude and everything. I was like, Satan, this is not the time. I don't have time for this." Like I started going off like a gangster with little Jesus in them. Like I went ballistic. You feel me, guys? Like I was scared. I couldn't breathe. The atmosphere in the room was bad, like very low, trying to kill me type of energy. I was like, I ain't even playing. And then the chair just rocked. The chair just rocked. I got my ass out of the bed and I stand directly to the opposite side of the lazy boy. And I was like, "Get out." I started crying because I'm like, shit is getting real. Like it's getting real like right now. And is it get out? I start panicking, like my type of panicking. I was like, I started crying. I was like, "Get out." And I started screaming and I start again. And oh Lord, like I just start I had it like when the chair just like the chair just rock. That was the second reason for me to like, nope. As a black person, I not stay in here with you. No, no, no. And I have an incense that I burn, right? It's for like one of evil spirits and stuff. I haven't burned it in a while in my room, but like every other night I would burn it. But for practically for a whole month or two, I haven't burned anything. I say I draw for the incense, you see? Incense, whatever they want to pronounce as. I draw for it, you see? And you know when somebody's scared and they sidestep in? I sidestep out of that room. And I run straight into the kitchen, you see? And I light up that incense, you see? And I came right back in my room and I start waving it around like a Obi man. Because I'm like, no, no, no. I'm not doing this tonight. And I start waving that and I start praying again. And I went down on my knees, guys, and I start praying. I said, God, if I ever done anything wrong in life, please forgive me. I started praying from Johnny was a little boy to Johnny turned big man to Johnny old and all that. I started praying about everything. I said, God, anybody's out to get me, remove them. I pray for your strength, your protection, your guidance. I start praying, guys. I went on my knees with the incense and I was like, and I went ahead and I like two of them. I like two of them because I'm like, nope. We ain't fun about nope, we're not doing that today. We're not doing that right now. We're not doing that. And guys, it felt like it was a whole lifetime that I was there praying, waving around the incense until it burned down to literally like it burned all the way down. Like this is the last part of the incense, right? It burned all the way down here. And I wanted to light it somewhere. I was like, it done. I have to go draw for one next one. I burned 2 incense that night. And I wave it around. And I prayed and I went on my knees and I pray. I cry and I pray and I pray and I pray. And after what felt like it was a lifetime praying, guys, for some odd reason, I started to relax. I started to get hot. Like my regular normal body temperature came back. I felt hot, but I was hot, like I was burning up. I was like, the whole time I'm like, and then my breathing became normal. I dropped for my asthma pump because then I remembered again that, okay, you have asthma, try don't kill yourself, you know, asthma, dead. I went in my bag and I pulled out my asthma pump and I like the 2 puff of it. And I started fanning. And then that's the time when I felt the breeze off the fan. I'm like, so all this time this fan did turn on and me never feel the fan turn on and blow on me don't all? Is that the fan wasn't blowing, but the fan was blowing this whole time. I didn't even realize it. And I stand right in front of the fan just to cool off, to get that hot breeze off me. And I was still scared to it. Like, I was so scared to go back in my bed to lie down. Because I'm like, the lazy boy there right there, so. My bed there right there, so. Something not right. I'm still like, I felt like I didn't want it to go back to bed. But then again, the heaviness in my room, the heaviness, the feeling of fear was gradually leaving the room. And I was like, okay, all right. I feel like myself a little bit. I didn't feel cold anymore. My heart is not racing. My heart is not pumping and I'm not feeling it in my throat anymore. I don't feel like I'm being choked or strangled or anything. The room feel like how my room normally feel. Normal. My own presence, it feels normal. But naturally I was still spooked out. Like I was still spooked out. I didn't want to go back into bed. And I was like, no, I have to sleep. I have work. I have to sleep, right? And instead of entering the bed like how I normally enter the bed, at the side where the lazy boy is, I went to the other side of the bed and go on the bed. I'm like, the whole time I'm side eyeing the lazy boy, like, I ain't playing with you. I ain't playing with you. And I faced the lazy boy. And the whole time I turned on my flashlight on my phone and I direct the flashlight to the lazy boy the whole time. I was like, all right, And I start praying again, you know, asking God to let me sleep and remove this unsettled fear that I'm having now, because no, my real fear starts chipping, like my actual fear starts to rise up. And I was like, God, let me go to sleep, let me sleep. And I start praying for all my family members in the house. I start praying for protection, guidance. I just start praying for a whole lot of things all over again, because I wanted to feel that sense of relaxation to go back to bed. And it was around 4:28 a.m. in the morning. I went back to bed. And when I finally wake up around 9 o'clock in the morning, guys, I felt so stressed out. I felt like I was fighting a whole battle the whole night. I felt like I wasn't even sleeping the night. I felt so drained. I felt like I worked a whole night shift and I don't even close my eyes for 1 second. Like, I felt tired. I felt drained. I was like, nah. Mm-mm. Whoa. I felt like, and from that night, Wednesday night, guys, like, Wednesday was what date? Because I'm telling you guys, this is like a recent thing that happened. Wednesday was, where's my calendar? Wednesday was the 11th of September. So the 11th of September, which was Wednesday, this happened. And I'm telling you, I felt so drained, so stressed out. And from Wednesday, I haven't stopped burning incense. Listen, me, man. I haven't stopped burning incense in my room from that Wednesday. And tonight, I'm gonna burn some more, because I'm not about that life. No, no, no. I will not allow anything to harm me, like literally. And the funny part is that a few days ago, my mom said that she had saw a female spirit in the house walking, and I'm like, female spirit? What? But when she was saying it, it was in the night before we all went to bed. And knowing me, I'm like, let me just pretend like I did not hear that, because I don't want to actually tell myself that yes, I heard that, and then my mind played tricks on me. So I ignored what she said with the intention of wanting to sleep peacefully that night. And Wednesday, the Thursday morning, when I woke up and I felt unsettled, and I was saying it to my older sister, she was like, you know that mommy had said she saw a spirit in the house, right? I'm like, well, I think we woke up, she come in my room, and me never hear it with she tonight, because I wanted to sleep, and she took away some of my strength and sleep. So, guys, I hope this story somewhat enjoyable, um and yeah, I'm still freaked out. Maybe the next 3 months before I probably not freaked out again. But I hope you guys enjoy this story. Remember to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and hit the notification bell as well. Yes, again, I'm still spooked out, guys. But see you guys next time. Bye.